G'day guys, how you doing? It's me, back with another video. Let me turn the welder off quickly. Woo! Doing a little welding. Anyway, yeah, just catching up with stuff that I've got to get done. Oh, let me adjust this a little bit. So, I need to do a video on this subject. It's something that's been showing up in my YouTube feed a lot just lately, and it's all about this New Earth stuff. Some of you might be aware of this stuff that is out there. It's largely coming from the New Age spiritual community, and I feel like I need to address it because it's false. Everything about this whole New Earth dogma that is out there is truthfully, it's false. A gentleman by the name of Eckhart Tolle wrote a book about a new earth or some deal like that. I've actually never read the book. And it was heavily promoted by all people by Oprah Winfrey. And in all sincerity, I can say this 300%, Oprah Winfrey is a Satanist. And I'm going to do a whole video about all this Satanist stuff, what Satanism actually is, etc. Because we need to be aware of this stuff, especially people, younger people, as they move forward in life, just what they're taking part in and what's happening, etc. And yeah, this whole New Earth deal was promoted heavily by Oprah Winfrey. And Oprah Winfrey, you know, we know that she's got tens of millions of followers globally. And the reality of the situation is, it's like I said, it's false dogma. It's an absolute lie. And what I'm saying by that is, you know, the issue isn't the earth in any way, shape, or form. Like, people actually are under the belief that the planet's actually going to split. And then there's people out there that are like, oh, the energy is going to split, and this is going to split, and that's going to split. And it's like, look, here's the reality of the situation. And I've been saying this for a while now. First and foremost, we're in a new timeline since 2012. I did a video about the thing called the Great Reset. And the reality of the situation is there's no split energy. We are in this timeline, period. The split in the energy is in us, first and foremost. We've got two choices and two choices only. Either start to accept the new energy into our system, into our consciousness, and start to learn from the new energy, or hang on to our old ego-based ways, which is going to cause you a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and a lot of frustration and anger and even possibly maybe suicide. That's it. You've only got the two choices because we are firmly in this timeline. There's no escaping it. We are here. So there's no new earth showing up. There's no split in the timeline. There's no split in the energy. There's nothing. We are in it. I don't know really how any other way to explain it. So the reality is, if we're in this timeline already, then there's certain fundamental universal laws, God, nature, creation, laws that apply. And one of the number one laws is the yin and the yang, or as I've called it, the world of opposites. And the reality of the situation is that what is the opposite of wanting a new earth? Okay, think about the millions of people globally, maybe hundreds of millions of people globally that are thinking about this new earth, are wanting a new earth. They're wanting this utopian world. They're wanting this utopian life, like, oh, it's going to be vegetable rights and peace and all holding hands and singing Kumbaya. No. What's the opposite of that, though? If the laws of yin and yang, the world of opposites, still applies, what's the opposite of the world that you want? It's called a hell on earth. Hell on earth. Look at what's happening in these cities like New York, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and major Western cities more than anything, globally, or cities with major Western influence, they're turning into hellholes. Okay? So hold on to that thought for a minute. So, Oprah Winfrey, who is promoting this book, A New Earth, is a Satanist. Okay? And I'm going to do a whole video about all this Satanism stuff and what is actually truly Satanism. And so Oprah's a Satanist. She's a ragingly materialistic-based human being. And the more and more and more materialistic you become, the deeper and deeper and deeper into Satanism you become. So, you've got this dude, Eckhart Tolle, wrote a book about New Earth, okay, promoted heavily by a Satanist. What is the opposite of a New Earth? Hell on earth. Look at these cities. Look at that Satanism. Okay, this hell on earth that you see in these cities is Satanism playing out before your eyes. Pretty interesting that there's a group of people out there who believe they're spiritually based or spiritual practitioners that are actually bringing about Satanism. Pretty interesting, isn't it? So I find it rather odd that there are many people out there promoting this New Earth theory now. And the more people that are actually promoting this New Earth theory or this New Earth belief, like I said, are actually perpetuating Satanism. Straight up. So, like I said, I'll do a video about Satanism I'll be doing a video about that stuff. So, if the whole New Earth thing is a load of bollocks and just pure dogma, even verging on propaganda to keep you distracted, then what is it we should be focusing on? Well, it's like I've said in previous videos over and over and over again. And that is we need to be focusing on our consciousness, about waking up to who we actually naturally are. And when we actually start to wake up to who we actually are as a being, as a creature of nature, we'll start to actually see the karmic footprint that we are leaving behind. We start to see just how our actions start affecting other people and other situations. And the number one thing that has happened in the last 60 years is there's been a large reincarnation of highly evolved souls that have been coming back here and are paying back their entire multiple lives worth of karma. Okay? There's none of these light worker shit. None of this Blu-ray, starseed, indigo, violet, unicorn riding, pink-haired light workers. No. It's actually the people that are paying back their lives, multiple lives worth of karma. They are the ones that are blazing the trail for this new energy to come through. It's true. The majority of people that are really, truly waking up are people that have gone through hell, that have gone through brutal lives, miserable, unhappy, and in some way, shape, or form, they have not picked up a pistol, put it to their head, hung themselves. Some way, shape, or form, those people are still walking this earth. And there's quite a few of those people on this planet, everywhere around it. Those are the real light workers, and the majority of them don't even realize what they're doing. They're just struggling through life and figuring it out for themselves. Anybody that thinks they're some sort of indigo, Blu-ray, violet, starseed, light worker, if you think that, I can pretty much tell you, you ain't one of them in any way, shape, or form. You're just locked in this area of escapism. You've just actually managed, via some form of waking up, you've just touched your soul's energy for the first time. That's why you're feeling these feelings of peace and love and just these amazing feelings of like, oh, I've done it, I've woken up. And you know how I know this stuff? It's because I was there. I was there. I thought I had awakened. But guess what? The more I thought I was awakened, the more and more and more and more and more miserable my life became. And I finally had to go and pull my head out of my butthole. Like, seriously. And then start taking a look around. And it's like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to give you a really good example of a karmic footprint. Okay? Now, Western society has been raping the planet of its resources so we can have all these toys and everything else. All right? So take somebody like an Oprah Winfrey, who's worth billions of dollars, who's meant to be this person of love and light that's out there helping the world and everything like that. Okay? Her karmic footprint is absolutely massive. Huge. Okay, and what she's got coming down the pipeline, maybe not in this lifetime, but in a future lifetime, that poor soul is going to be paying the piper like nothing else on earth. Because when you're worth billions of dollars and you've got all this stuff around you, okay, what is the opposite of her having all that wealth and all those homes and all that opulence? It's abject poverty. So Oprah Winfrey is actually the cause of a huge amount of poverty, as are thousands of other people in Western society who are worth millions to hundreds of millions to billions to trillions of dollars. They are the result of abject poverty around the world. And this is what this timeline is about. It's waking up to our consciousness and seeing how our consciousness ends up affecting the collective consciousness, and that in turn shows you what your karmic footprint is. You start to realize, like, oh, so for every action that I do over here, there's an equal and opposite reaction over here. There's a reason why I live a simple life. It's the reason why I gave up everything, like pretty much everything. The only thing I own is my Ford F-150 truck, and all the belongings that I have, I can throw in the back of that truck and I can take off to wherever I want to take off to. I mean, I can go to different countries, I can go to different jobs, I can travel and easily get around. My karmic footprint is absolutely minimal, like super duper minimal. And then by doing these videos, I'm off and helping people by giving them truth, knowledge, and information in regards to what is truly happening here. I am helping offset that karmic footprint anymore to the point where it's a positive karmic footprint. That is what happens when you start to wake up to your consciousness and actually start to look at your world around you and go, oh shit, I've been doing this wrong. Maybe buying that $120,000 Tesla EV wasn't a particularly smart thing, because there's some people that are living in abject poverty and putting their lives at risk to mine minerals and materials so I can drive around and think I've really been virtue signaling, haven't I? Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, man, actually, it's even worse than virtue signaling. I'm actually quite a douchebag. Oh, yeah. You want to know how you leave less of a karmic footprint? Instead of going out and spending $120,000 on a brand new vehicle that's actually basically been utilizing slave labor to manufacture certain items on that vehicle, how about just going down the road and buying a pre-owned Honda Civic or an Accord or a Toyota Camry that's pre-owned or maybe 10 years old? That's how you start leaving a negative karmic footprint. This rampant materialism is so out of hand, and leaving such a gnarly karmic footprint in other people's lives. It's crazy. And that begs the question then, just how spiritual, just how spiritual are a lot of these new age gurus and everything that are out there, people? Eckhart Tolle, worth $70 million. Sadhguru, who knows how many millions of dollars that dude's worth. Deepak Chopra, oh my gosh, he's got to be worth at least $100+ million or more, right? How can these supposed spiritual people have such a massive karmic footprint? It throws up a major red flag to the point where it's like, hang on a second, people. I think these folk might be leading you down the garden path. Think? I can tell you right now, the majority of these supposed spiritual teachers, you know where they've gotten their information from? They've just read it from books. If they are all about materialism, if they are about beautiful big homes and these expensive, opulent lifestyles, they're Satanists. Straight up. I'm not kidding you. You need to really start taking a serious look at a lot of these people. Seriously. And that's my video. So, until the next one, try to minimize your karmic footprint instead of your carbon footprint.